4849 when you call me this morning, or text me 81333. Start that message with the word York. Well, let's find out how some plans are going for Christmas with Matty Lewis. He's a parent and member of Yorkie Dads. Matty, welcome to the show once again. Morning.
Good morning, Georgie. You well?
Yeah, good, thank you. Now tell me, what had you got planned?
Well, my plan was to go and see my little boy at sort of his mum's family's house. They also convening there for Christmas, so that was going to be a 3-household limit there. And then drive to my mum's, who's in West Yorkshire, a higher tier area, and see them for the rest of Christmas Day. I was going to stay over, but obviously now with hindsight, the smarter decision is not to. So then I would head back up here on the evening of Christmas Day anyway. So a decision to make for Boxing Day, though, I think, and as well, like I've heard the advice about travelling back from a higher tier area to a lower tier area. So I certainly have a decision to make there.
Yeah, have you made a decision? Because I'm listening to the logistics of this. Obviously, you are separate from your son and your partner, so that you know we've got a situation there. You want to see your son. Clearly, you want to see your son. He's your boy. But then you're then going to go into somebody else, your parents. You know, what are you going to do, Matty?
Yeah, well, I think if it boiled down to it, and I had to make a decision, then it would be to see my little boy. I think for seeing children at Christmas and the magic of Christmas, which was brought to you by your doorstep carols last night, obviously. I think that's really important and definitely a priority. And I can see my family, you know, in January. It's about making small sacrifices for large games, isn't it? And I respect the sort of rules.
Yeah. Do you know, this is such a tough one. What have your other family members said? What have your parents said?
Yeah, well, to be honest, my mum wants me to come down, and she understands that, you know, the sensible thing to do wouldn't be, but it is allowed. And I think that's going to be the mindset of a lot of people. And like they've said, it is trying to find a balance. It's not an easy decision for the government to make. I know there's criticism saying, you know, they were afraid of making the big decision, but they've got to balance the mental health and the welfare of the British public, and also making sure that everyone's safe. It's a very, very difficult decision for them to make.
Would you rather the decision be made by government so that you don't have to take responsibility for that decision? Because I've spoken to several people who are planning on travelling quite a distance, and they would rather be told not to go as opposed to them having to make the decision and then broach it with the family.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, it takes pressure off me. But yeah, I think if they said no, you cannot travel to a higher tier area, then that would be the conversation. No, I can't come this time, guys, and that would be respected. But having to make that decision is difficult, and unfortunately, there will be a handful of people that quite understandably do breach that and do go and see family. I understand after this year why they would do that, but certainly for myself and my family, I would respect it.
Do you know, my hat goes off to you, Matty. It is not easy when there's been a split in a relationship, and it's not easy to retain amicable relations with the person and to see your child. And I know how difficult that is. I come from a family that, you know, split up when I was 8 years old, and it's such a tricky, logistics of this are so tricky. And I just wish you a very Merry Christmas, Matty.
Thank you, Georgie, very much, and have a wonderful Christmas yourself.
Thank you, my darling. Matty Lewis there. He's from Yorkie Dads. How are your plans changing? You know, if